Okay, so today we have MRG in the house, came all the way from Queens in New York today to see us. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for answering our text message when we reached out to you.
Of course, thank you for having us, and thank you for texting me.
So what does MRG stand for?
It's just my initials, you know.
Okay, what's your full name?
Matthew Raymond Guzman.
Ah, from the Dominican? Or families from the Dominican?
Yeah, my father born and raised out there.
But you're born and raised in Queens.
Born and raised in Queens. Queens get the money, New York.
So tell us why we had you here. What are we here to talk about?
Yeah, I guess the come up, being an artist, they say when I first got into music, they were like, hey, music is 90% business, 10% music. And I never really understood what that meant until I, got to where I'm at now, So it's the music business at the end of the day.
That's what we're hearing a lot. We actually interviewed Mike Jones a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of the same thing. Mike Jones, you got your phone number on there like Mike Jones.
Exactly. Shout out Mike Jones, Mike marketing genius.
But that's what he did, and he says that still today he still has that same phone number. People still reach out to him today for gigs. So best idea, keeping the fans in touch with you. You're awesome on social media. Sean said he found you on YouTube. I don't even know how long ago did you find him on YouTube?
Man, it probably had to be when the money come? Yeah, but when it first came, there was probably only 100,000 views on it, or maybe less. Yeah. Maybe only like 20 or 30,000. I was like,
I don't know how he finds all these artists. Like he's like, I told you Jelly Roll was going to be big 3 years
I
ago.
I
told you.
I told her a long time ago when I was watching these YouTube videos, I was like, he's going to blow up. And I sent it to a bunch of people, and then the same thing, like you're on the brink. And there's a couple of people I was following that they ended up blowing up. And so I feel like you already are, but like big time, like nationwide.
So what do you call your genre? I feel like when I listened to it a couple of days ago when Sean told me who you were, I'm like, damn, this guy's really fucking good.
Thank you.
It kind of reminds me of Bad Bunny, and I love Bad Bunny, but it's that style where you mix like a little bit of Spanish in with it, a little bit of rap, a little bit of, I don't know what you call that other, I don't want to say Tejano because it's not Tejano, but what's the other genre, what we call that?
Oh, like the Spanglish?
The Spanglish rap? I mean, is there a genre for that?
Honestly, I just feel like Latinos, we've been in hip hop for so long, so it's like, it's hip hop with a little bit of Spanish. I wouldn't even give it a name, honestly.
I like it. We're here in Texas.
Yeah,
you hablo un poco de español, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I like it too. I was listening to a couple of the songs. I don't remember the name, but probably some of your top stuff, the first stuff that came up on YouTube.
I sent her a bunch of stuff.
Honestly, I've been saying my genre is timeless. Like, I just try and make timeless music. There's so much BS in the game that, like, even on my upcoming album, I want to do every genre. Like maybe like reggaeton, maybe
some
trap.
Country in there. Pull a Beyonce,
country.
Do some Texas
country.
Definitely,
absolutely.
Everybody's doing the country thing too.
I know, and I've been wanting to do country, so it's like, it sucks that everybody's doing it now. So,
are you gonna collab with somebody, or you're just gonna kind of?
It depends, honestly. It depends. Sometimes songs don't need a collaboration, but who knows? Maybe Jelly Roll hook. I would love to work with Jelly Roll. Shout out Jelly Roll.
Yeah, we saw him. He came here to the rodeo, and at that time, I think, do you remember how many people were there? 80-something thousand people. It was the biggest concert he had ever done, and he was on stage crying. You could just tell when you hear him how appreciative he is of his fans. He really fucking cares, and he really works 24/7. We saw him. We were living at the Four Seasons for a while because our house was under construction, and we saw him down there. He had his laptop in the lobby, like working. This guy works nonstop, and he's so dedicated to his fans that we all got emotional. I looked around, everybody's like crying around us because he was just so honored to be there and how much work he put in and how long it took to get there. And that's what people don't realize, that some of these artists are doing this for 10 or 20 years before something finally hits. Yeah. So how long have you been in music?
I made my first song when I was 16. This was right after I tore my ACL.
How old are you now?
I'm 30.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, just turned 30, yeah. So, I was doing music. I was still primarily a baseball player.
Yeah, so let's talk about that too, because I heard that you didn't think you were going to be doing music. You thought you were playing pro, right?
Yeah, I planned, the Dominican background. Like, Dominicans are like, it's our destiny to play baseball. Like, we don't even have the option. I was swinging a baseball bat before I could even walk. Like,
your dad's like pushing you out there.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he was my coach too, which was dope. So super dedicated to baseball. At one point, after I tore my ACL, I just fell in love with music, and I would still play baseball just because I've put in so much work. And my dad was my coach. I was kind of playing baseball just to make him proud. I still liked it, but music definitely became my new love.
Were they pretty supportive when you went into music, your parents? Or?
Yeah, my father was definitely annoyed because he only put in like 50,000 hours to train me. So he's like,
No,
you
baseball
gonna be a
dads are
rapper?
like soccer moms, man.
Yeah.
They just put their all
Exactly,
into it. That's their life.
exactly.
Like they're born and bred to teach you
Yeah.
how to do that too. So
You
you're
know?
doing baseball from like, I don't know, 2 or 3 swinging a bat. This is
Yeah.
your life. This is you go to
Yeah.
school, you're playing on these teams.
Yeah.
Are you playing in high school too? Did you make it that
Yeah,
far? Or
definitely. Like, I was playing baseball all year round. I was going to Florida. We were actually supposed to go to Texas, but we lost to Texas. We went to the World Disney Baseball Classic when I was younger, and we were playing these dudes from Texas. Like, we were 12. These dudes were like 6'2", throwing 95. I'm like, yo, check their birth certificates. Texans are different. Like, I don't know.
No, we have a friend's kid. He's
Yeah.
the dad is like 6'4" and the mom
Yeah.
is like 5'10" or 11. This kid is double the height of the rest of the kids, and he plays football.
Yep.
I'm like, how is this 8-year-old who's my height, 5'6",
right.
180 pounds? Like, what did the parents say? He's like, they all
Right.
think that we lied about his age
Exactly.
to get him to play.
Exactly. Check the birth certificate. I mean, we had a couple of those on our team. I can't lie. From DR, like a little older, but
Who were you listening to back then? Like when you were 16 and when you first started making music, like who were the rappers you were listening to that influenced you?
definitely Kanye. Kanye's, in my opinion, was one of the first artists to really make it cool to not be a drug dealer or a gangster.
Yeah,
you know?
he was
So
super versatile. He did all kinds of
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
Kanye, a lot of Spanish music, Daddy Yankee, Tego Calderon, Nicky Jam. Honestly, more Spanish music than English music. That's why I do the Spanglish, because just growing up listening to Spanish music, it was so influential. And the Spanish language is so much sexier and more beautiful than English. Like, everything rhymes in Spanish. It's all ooh, ah, eh. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. I never
it's
thought
a cheat
about that.
code. Like, American rapper was saying the key to hits is vowels. And then I'm like, yo, Spanish is all vowels. It sounds like I'm hating and making excuses, but
It just
it's a
sounds
lot
better.
easier to make a hit in Spanish.
So how old were you when you tear your ACL?
I was 15.
So it didn't take long, about a year later, and you're already recording your first song.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big jump. How did you
Yeah.
know somebody in the industry? How did you end up doing this?
One of my close friends was a rapper, and he was like, yo, let's do a rap group. And when I was hurt, I was already writing lyrics.
Okay.
And, just playing sports, like music and sports is so intertwined. Baseball, listening to music in the dugout, playing basketball, at the scorekeeper, they got the music blasting. And just being in Queens, like, that's what, like, typical kid from Queens, just playing sports and freestyling on the corners.
On the street, yeah.
And it's just a way to be competitive, have the best verse. It's another way to channel your competitiveness. So that's pretty much, it was just a different outlet for me to, and I'm more of an introvert. So it was a cool way for me to express myself,
So when you first started recording, did you think it was going to turn into what it's already turned into today?
I did, honestly. I was like, I made my first song. I'll never forget. I made my first
You're
song.
like, this shit is good.
Yeah, I was like, nah, this shit fire. I played it for my mom, and she didn't believe it was me. I was like, Mom, this is actually me.
Now, do you speak fluent Spanish? Did I read that you didn't?
Yeah, I don't. And people, I guess because I just, I record myself, so I'm able to be a perfectionist and make sure I'm articulating it with swag. And
Your pronunciation is perfect.
yeah, I do have good pronunciation. You know what it is too? Like, growing up, because I'm mixed. My father's from Dominican Republic, and my mom's like Dutch, Scottish, just white lady. But my father's like Afro-Dominican. DR is basically a mix of slaves, colonizers, and a little bit of native people. So my father's, more on the Afro side. And just growing up, people would think I'm fluent, but I wasn't, because my mom's white. So but she still knows. She would go to DR and people would talk trash, and she'd be like, nah, I know what they saying. But she wouldn't say anything. So she would know. But just like, I always didn't like making mistakes. I would feel, and I feel like even like my Dominican side, even my aunts and uncles, I feel like they felt the same about English. So they stayed more complacent and just speaking Spanish. And when they came from DR, Washington Heights, which is where my father's family, he came there when he was like 15. So he already pretty much grew up in DR. But there's such a big Dominican community that a lot of people don't speak English out there, because you
don't
already
have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. So
But I think that's the hard part of like getting the confidence of speaking that other language and
Yeah.
feeling like you got the tongue right.
Yeah.
I went to college and had 2 years of Spanish already, but I had a white teacher.
Yeah.
And she goes, let me just tell you, all you white people in the class, this is how you're going to roll
Yeah.
your R's.
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to get in the car when no one's listening. And
Yeah.
you're just going to over enunciate, like la
Yup.
araña, la arriba. She's like, just get in there and you
Damn, you got
roll
it
it
on
and you roll
point.
it. And then you can be able to shorten it up and reel it back
Yeah,
in.
yup.
But I think, it's hard. Like if I'm around somebody that speaks fluent Spanish and I'm like, oh, well, I kind of speak Spanish. And then I try,
Yeah.
it's like my white girl comes out.
Yeah, I
But it's like
feel
when you're in
you.
the room and no one's listening, that's when you can really,
Exactly.
get all the
swag.
pronunciation
Yeah.
out right to make sure it comes out. But I mean, when you're rapping, I would have thought you were totally fluent. So when I read something, I think that she sent us that you weren't, I was like, what?
Yeah, because I'm recording myself, like you said, like I'm by myself in my room. I don't know.
So you're like, Dad, does this make sense?
Yeah, exactly. I would
Have
literally
him proof
give
you.
Yeah, and it's funny. I got on live with a bunch of my fans, and like
They're
I
all
get
trying
on
to speak
live.
Spanish.
Yeah, I'm like, my Wi-Fi messed up. Like I can't hear you. Like, I'm like, so I get one person to join. She's like straight from DR in the countryside. I don't really know what she's saying, honestly. I'm like, cause she's speaking it so fast, and I'm already kind of like new to speaking with my fans.
You're like,
And then
despacio.
Yeah, I'm like, Swawi, mommy, Swawi. Then I'm like, all right, let me add somebody else because I need help to like
Yeah.
make the convo a little more.
Are you going to take classes that you can like learn it fluently
I
at this
should.
point?
I have to. Honestly, I have to. You know what it is? I'm gonna go to DR, live with my like Theo or my tia, so I have to speak Spanish.
Just tell them no English.
Yeah,
That's what I did my
exactly.
nannies with my kid because that's very important. That I had a
Yeah.
Spanish speaking nanny because I wanted him in Texas. It's
Yep.
so important, especially with us being in construction. So
Yeah.
now I'm just
Yeah,
like,
our
can
kid's
you
bilingual.
translate for us, Liam? He's 5.
Yeah.
He's fluent. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and he doesn't
genius.
really try to speak Spanish that much. He'll say leche and things like that, but he won't really try.
Yeah.
So we were driving back from Austin yesterday, and I was like, Liam, how do you say fork? And then he would just like say the word in Spanish. I'm like, look at
If you ask him, he knows all the words and he understands the whole conversation.
But immersing yourself in it and being forceful. Because I mean, right now it's just kind of what I've been reading. That's why people like Bad Bunny are doing so good.
Yeah.
Because the Hispanic population is so large, and the amount of people singing and rapping the style that you're doing is so small. It's so beneficial for you.
Yeah.
To me, to be able to, communicate with your fans.
If you look at the top trending videos on YouTube, every week it's all Spanish stuff now. It's like, 50 million, 100 million views in that style and like the Bad Bunny style. I mean, there's a ton of artists doing that.
Of all your videos on YouTube, what's the largest amount of views you've had on a video?
I think money come.
I think that's the one you sent me first.
Every week it's probably going to continue to grow
Yeah,
now.
definitely.
And what is it now? It's millions.
It's funny. Facebook is actually my biggest platform, and like, Facebook is. I took this marketing course, and it really talked about Facebook marketing, and my videos there like get millions of native views. So like,
That's all new people. You mean like it's only counting the view as one person, or?
yeah, but it's also like it's not a link. It's a video that's
Okay.
based
Within.
on Facebook. So that was like my biggest audience. So YouTube is like a derivative of Facebook,
So that's definitely why we wanted to bring you on. We want to talk about some of the social media and marketing side of the business. And so on your first song you made, where'd you post it? Who'd you send it to? Like, was this right before social media? Or was
Yeah,
it,
you know what it was too? My first song was really on some like, let me just try it out and see what the reception is. You mean like the first song when I was 16?
Yeah.
We're gonna find it.
How did you
Is
market
it out
it?
there?
I don't.
Or was it just on a CD? Was CD? You were burning CDs at the time, so did you?
Nah, it was actually on email. It was
Okay.
actually on email. Nah, I did have it on burn CD too. Yeah, I did. Damn, I remember the white CD. It was like
Yeah.
MRG
With
first
the Sharpie.
project. Yeah, with the Sharpie. Yup.
When did you start using social media to market? What year you think? Or were you already doing pretty good, well known in Queens, and then you started getting on social media?
Nah, social media, honestly, because New York is like crabs in a bucket, super competitive. People are kind of just haters, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, in order to make it in New York, you kind of already have to be popping. So it's my biggest city when I started rapping was actually London. London really embraced me
From social media?
from social media, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then that's why I made Money Come, to let people know, like, I'm from New York. Like, I'm actually from New York, because I wanted to let my fans know, as they were finding me out, like, who is this kid? And I'm like, no, I'm from New York, so.
Have you done any shows in London yet?
Yeah, I had a show in August of 2022. Yeah, it was dope. I love London. London is like New York's cousin, honestly. I feel like similar swag.
Like it's home.
Yeah, exactly. And their accent is just like amazing. The women, the way they speak. It's just like fell in love left to
He
right.
hates
And
it. He hates it. He's
Really?
like, turn off that fucking movie. I can't stand that accent. I don't understand what the fuck they're saying. I'm like, I'll turn on the subtitles for you.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Some
like
of the
English
movies are hard
movie.
to understand.
Yeah, I
he,
feel
he
you.
really does not like that heavy English accent. He can't
Yeah.
understand what they're saying.
I feel you.
It's hard.
The woman I like. The men, I feel you. The men is kind of annoying, but the women is like endearing and.
I've never been over there, so I'm sure it's way different than watching a movie.
He's never been to Europe.
You really?
He won't go on a plane longer than 3 hours.
Really?
We're trying to get him out of that, but 3 hours is max for him right now.
You gotta take a couple shots and.
Yeah, I'm never gonna say never.
Give him an Ambien. He won't know up from down. He'll be walking around the plane naked. So when you take the marketing class from Facebook, what suggestions did they give you that actually worked, that popped that first song and made it go big?
They suggested one take videos, which is just like very intimate. Make sure your face is showing. You know, when you think rap video, you think, oh, you gotta get a nice car, gotta get women twerking. And I used to do that, but like it just didn't hit as well as a simple video of me rapping in front of the camera and starting a song right away. Like a lot of, you know, social media, you have 1 to 2 seconds to make an impression. And you know, people will have intros with cars and the beat loading. When it's like I would start it in the middle of the song, like the best part, the catchiest part of the song, the climax of the song. I'll start the
It's
video
almost
right
like
there.
the hook. So when they're scrolling, it's like they catch the chorus and the beat. Yeah.
Yeah, like all my songs, if you notice, blow, I'm speaking in the first second. I'm not giving you any chance to press skip. It's like, oh shit, what is that? Because a lot of the algorithm is suggesting it. So, you know, that's probably how you found me. Like you were just listening to one of your artists and then blow.
Yeah, I don't even remember
you know?
how it popped up on one of my YouTube somewhere. And
Yeah.
it just popped up and I listened to it and immediately. And then I saw a lot of the comments. People were coming from like TikTok and Facebook. You could see they're commenting, "Hey, I came from TikTok. I came from Facebook." Who influenced you to take the marketing course? You just woke up and you're like, "Man, I need to figure out this social media thing."
Yeah, because I was like, my music is way better than these dudes' music. And then I read somewhere hits aren't made, hits are marketed. And I just started learning about the industry. Like, it's a business. You know, you pump thousands of dollars into songs. Top artists put $100,000 into a single for a marketing campaign. And I'm like, oh, okay. My problem isn't the music, it's the business side. Like, I need the awareness, you know? So I did trial and error with a bunch of third-party marketing guys. And I felt like they kind of, I'm not gonna say they robbed me, but I was
They robbed
like,
you.
yeah,
I feel like it's
basically.
consistent.
Most of the time,
Yeah.
those places don't know you and they don't know your music. They're just kind of throwing stuff against the wall and making
Well, they
it
also
stick.
like connect you with an intern that doesn't have any experience.
Yeah,
Just
you get
got
like
out
a
of
junior
college. It's her
associate.
dad
Exactly.
worked for the company or something.
Yeah, like I was on a call with an intern or assistant and like they didn't even know basic CTR and watch time. I'm like, oh nah, I gotta do my own stuff.
So back then, 14 years ago, I don't know when you started the Facebook marketing class, but there was no business pages. Because I started when business pages first came out, and you were maxed at 5,000 followers.
Wow.
Your very first page on Facebook, did you do a business page or a public figure page right
Yeah,
out of the gate?
I did.
See, I didn't do it that way. And
Yeah.
for so long, I was capped. And so what I would do
Multiple.
is I would start deleting people. So I'm like, I went to the high school with that motherfucker. I haven't talked to him in 10 years. I don't give a shit about him. And he's not buying makeup. Delete. And I
Right.
accept a new one because I could only get 5,000.
Yeah.
But that was before
That
business
was
pages.
before there was a business page, though.
Yeah.
So I'd have to kind of finagle my followers, and every once in a while do a swipe,
Right,
like if I didn't know them or if it seemed like a fake page or whatever.
Yeah.
Then Facebook business pages came out, and that was in 2010-ish, 2011, and I got one of those, and that you were unlimited on. So I'm sure that's what you have now is more of a business page, or you set up as a public figure, so you can have unlimited.
Yeah, my first song on Facebook was a business page, public figure page.
And then do you do like the back end where you do meta, where it like cross posts
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
on
yeah.
Instagram and Facebook?
Yeah.
So you're not having to manually do all that?
Yeah, like I get busy with the ads. Like if I wanted to, I could start my own ad agency and make hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it's like I don't want to.
What do you mean, helping other people do what you do?
Yeah, definitely. But I don't want to like steer course of being one of the best artists.
Yeah.
You know, like you
Focus on the music.
Yeah.
You definitely got the talent.
Yeah, so
I
you got
hear
what it
stuff-
has, and I don't bullshit people. You have what it takes, and it's just about like just really getting it out there
Yeah.
and having as many people as you can hear it and marketing
Yeah.
it, just like you said. So my next question is, do you boost your posts? I mean, have you played around with that yet?
Definitely. Like that course, shout Indiepreneur, Circa. He's just. It's funny. I found the course through an ad, so it's like they literally found me through an ad, and that's how I found.
Like on a DM or just
it was
swiping?
Where was the ad? I think it was on Instagram. It was like a native video, and I was just scrolling, or maybe on a story. It might have been on Facebook actually, but you know, I've definitely ran ads, lookalike audiences. Like I could tell you this one story. One of my first songs to really go viral. Yeah, that was on Facebook. It was called Feels 2. It was a heartbreak song. I just broke up with my girl. And I dropped the song, and the caption was, another thing was captions, right? Like, don't say new song out now, Queen's artist. It would be like a, not vulnerable, but like a relatable caption. So my caption on that video was like, I love you and I wish you the best, ... So I wrote this. So it's not like spammy, like, hey, new rap artist out now. Like they say, don't do that.
He's really big on hooks, so he's gonna like
yeah,
this.
Hooks, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Because it's like people want to feel like they are finding something. They don't want it shoved down, their throat. No Diddy, no Freaky. But so I did that video and I did a lookalike audience, and it was crazy because the lookalike audience was so accurate that like all of my new fans for that song were like Black and Spanish baby mothers, specifically no husband or no partner.
Oh, from that breakup song.
Because it was a breakup song. So I'm looking at my
I know
new
that AI is
fans.
fucking crazy.
I'm like,
so explain to people what that means. A lot of people don't know what a lookalike
Yeah,
audience
for
means.
sure.
Like break it down how they choose it on the back end.
Absolutely. So the metric I used was percentage of video watch. So if I'm putting a video out there, a 2-minute video, and you're watching 50%, that means I just got you for a minute. So that means you're engaged in it, right? Because like on social media, we usually see stuff for like 10 seconds and scroll. So once you get 1,000 of those people in that who have watched my music video for 50%, Facebook then uses this audience to find thousands and thousands of pretty much a lookalike audience, or audience that looks like that. So since it was a breakup song, and hip hop, and just I'm from New York, and kind of the my background, it basically was finding baby mothers who broke up with their baby fathers. So like damn near all my new likes were like Spanish Black woman with a baby as a cover photo. I'm like, yo, I got it. I was like, I got it. I was like, yo, I figured it out.
No, I feel like that's a Legend of Zelda, and we had to hire a marketing guy because it's just too much for my brain, can't handle it.
Yeah.
But this is on the back end of your Facebook ads manager, or account manager.
Yep.
So people who don't really know where to go, because even for me, even though I'm in it, I still don't even know how to get there.
Yeah.
You just go to, first you have to set up your Facebook page. You connect it to your Instagram, and then you go to Facebook ads manager, and then you can sign up an account from there. And then from there, you can choose what kind of audience. Do you only want to promote this to your VIPs? You can even tie it into your website. Do you want to promote this to your, the subscribers on your website? Do you only want to promote it to those people? Do you want to promote it to people who look like your audience? That's always the best, because they are so fucking good. They know better than us. I used to try to hone in on a zip code and be like, I want these ladies right here. I want them between 35 and 45. I want those right there. But they know better than we do, and it filters out the people that just absolutely aren't going to like your music. Maybe the country folk ain't going to like it when you come on a country song.
True. That is true, because each song has its own lookalike audience. And I'm not going to lie though, I feel like as an independent artist, once you start to figure stuff out, or even as a business person, like, when you're in the ad space too early, or like sometimes I feel like Facebook and Instagram, they're like, hold on, we're giving these people too much.
They start reeling it back in.
Leverage. They're like, nah, this is too easy for y'all. Like,
it's supply and demand. So when something starts working, everybody starts using it.
Exactly.
And then it gets harder to reach that audience that you reached before.
No, I feel like also they give you a little taste of it. Like they let one of your videos go viral. Because I had one video.
Yep.
It's like a 1.5-minute long video on 5 tips for women over 40.
Yeah.
I think it has like 4 million views now. That's the most I've ever had on a video. But I knew right away that one was going to do good. By the time I got down from the hotel to the car, it already had 5,000 views within like minutes. And I'm like, okay.
Going up, yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, now it's got 10. Now it's got 100. So that's when I started putting fuel on it, boosting it. So it got put in front of more and more people. But they let you get a little taste of it.
Yeah.
And then you turn off the boosting, and then your followers start dropping.
Yeah.
So then it makes you wonder, are these even real followers that they're giving us?
Right.
When you're boosting these posts, are they trying to like feed you a little bit of, hey, if you give us $1,000 a day to boost these posts, we're going to give you these people, but you stop, we're going to start pulling it back in. We're going to affect your engagement.
It's supply and demand though. So usually when something works, like all these agents, everybody's pouring money into it, and then you just don't see you don't put it in front of as many people. And so you have to be early and trying all kinds of stuff on social media, right? What worked on TikTok a couple of months ago isn't probably going to work as good in 3 months from now.
Do you do TikTok?
Yeah. I mean, Instagram, Facebook is all 9x16, so it's like...
The cool thing I saw you doing on TikTok now is where, I don't know what you call it, but basically the fans are singing part of his song, and he's He's on one.
Yeah.
He's on one side. It's like a split screen,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
they're making their own verse to his songs.
Yeah.
And so he's posting it on his page, but then
Putting the beat and then they're singing it
Yeah.
their own.
They're doing their own, like, it's like a freestyle challenge.
yeah, so they basically sing the chorus or freestyle and put their own words to it, and then he raps the rest of the song at the end. But it's almost like this split screen thing that
To keep it interactive.
he promotes the person that's singing it. So it's like, hey, this is so and so, and it was kind of cool. I saw it. It was
I don't even know. Does TikTok have stories like Instagram
yeah,
does?
I think so.
They
Yeah.
do, but I don't really
I don't even
post
know
on
how to
the
watch
story.
those.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
pretty cool that you share it because then they all want to
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
and encourages them to want to do
Yeah,
it.
and it's like more interactive where you're interacting with the fans and they can post. And so I thought that was a cool thing. I've never seen that before.
And like I said earlier on social media, you put your cell phone number on there.
Yeah, yep. You know, hit my line. Text me.
So I think that's really cool that people feel like they can connect with you and they don't feel like you're just like some superstar that's unreachable.
Yeah.
It just makes them more loyal to you that they can do that too.
Definitely. People were surprised, like, oh shit, is really you?
So let's back up the story again. So you're recording in the studio at 16.
Yeah.
What was your gateway from there? Gonna start a group with your friend, then you end up going solo. Did you just kind of just figure out from him and then start doing your own thing? What happened next?
So long story short, I was in a rap group. And in the rap group, naturally, you figure out who's really passionate and who's just on some, like, I'm in a rap group in high school. Like, it looks cool. You know, and those were my boys, too. We were all trying to figure out what our lane is and our passion. So
How many of you guys were there?
it was four of us.
That's hard. That's a lot of personality.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, two of them kind of fell off. They just, you know, they were like, rap is a hobby. I'm not actually going to do it. And then me and my, you know, the one who started the rap group, we were the last two taking it seriously. Long story short, his family friend was like DMX's entertainment lawyer, maybe business manager. So for my boy's birthday, we got to record in DMX's studio. So I'm in DMX's studio. I'm
That's kinda
17
cool.
at this point.
That's really cool.
DMX is in jail at this point. Rest in peace, because I never got to meet him. But we recorded the record in the, you know, professional studio. And then when I was done, my boy's family friend kind of brought me to the side, like, yo, you are nice. Like, I have this empty verse on DMX's album. I want to see what you can do.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of just like stars aligning, God, you know, giving me this amazing opportunity. Shit, I'm going home. I'm like, I might not even go to college. I'm about to be on DMX's album. Like, what's up? And, you know, I ended up doing a verse in Harlem for the DMX album. It was produced by Swiss Beats. And, yeah, it was surreal. You know, I got the contract. I was supposed to get paid. I still keep the contract on my phone because it sounded like bullshit. Like, what you mean you're on DMX's album? I didn't even have a song out. So, you know, naturally I messed up too because I learned not to share things until it actually is official and signed and sealed. So,
Yep.
So
you
did
know,
it end up
naturally-
getting released? Or
So it never got released because DMX, when he came home, I don't know the full story, but apparently when he came home from jail, he like did something at LaGuardia and he ended up getting jailed again. And he just became such a liability for the label that they didn't want to put the album out. So the album was kind of like a dead floating project that was finished and produced. But, you know, I still have the contract.
Well, this is going to be like Tupac with Machiavelli. You know, they're going to come out with it. He's dead now. We're just going to, you know.
Exactly.
Sometime
yeah,
it's going to
true.
come out.
Maybe it's still business at the end of the day, and the label has to recoup their investment. So maybe it will come out, honestly. But I still have the song, you know, the contract, all that stuff. It never happened, but stuff happens for a reason. I wasn't ready to be an artist. I didn't have a song out. I could spit a verse, but making a song is a lot different from just spitting a verse and rapping at 16, you know? So
who makes the beats? Do you have a producer or you do
yeah,
that too?
I have a producer. A lot of it's honestly online, like YouTube, and then I just hit the producer up like, yo, I want this beat. So
Social media again.
yeah,
Keep
social
putting
media.
your-
Yeah, definitely.
Put your stuff out there and
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen a lot of people doing that, finding their producers online. I think actually that's how they met. The other guys, Mike Jones and his producer. He
Maybe.
heard his
Maybe
beat.
like MySpace. Probably MySpace was huge back in the day.
yeah.
Yeah, he just met this guy more recently, and they started a label off of it too.
Yeah.
So after you did the DMX thing, how did you start monetizing? How did you start making money off music?
I didn't, honestly, because then I ended up going to college because the song never came out. So I'm like, damn, I got to go to college.
So what did you go to school for?
I went to school for business. Actually, I got a academic scholarship because I was actually going to play baseball in college, but since I had the academic scholarship, I didn't have to, which was a blessing, you know, because some kids have to play baseball in order to, you know, pay for their school. So, you know, once I got to school, I was going to train with the team, but it was like 5 a.m. workouts in the off season. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm trying to turn up and be with some women, respectfully, and study. And I know at that point I didn't want to go to the MLB. And even though I had friends who, like, you know, I don't know how big you guys are into baseball, but like my travel team was Harrison Bader, who was starting center fielder for the Yankees. Jose Cuas, who was like closer for, he was the Cubs. I think maybe he might be on the Astros. But the point is, like, I was playing with present day MLB players. So like going to the MLB was never a dream. It was just like something I planned to do, you know? And then once I got to college and realized, no, I plan on being a major artist, I was like, let me not do baseball because, you know, I don't like doing stuff half-assed if I'm gonna do it.
Did you finish college?
Yeah, I did. I actually did finish college.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
didn't think that story was going that direction.
Yeah, no, I did finish college. Yeah, I did. You know, work corporate a little bit, pay my loans off. I had a little bit of loans.
Who'd you work for?
EY, actually. Consulting, yeah.
Okay.
It's a fancy title, but like I really didn't do anything except live in Excel. You know, my position was IT consultant, but like,
You're like the intern at the marketing company?
yeah, I was like, yeah, I was
So you didn't
I was
learn it-
basically doing auditing, which
Okay.
was boring as hell. Like just
How popular did you start getting before you quit?
not at all, honestly. I was working for 2 years from 2016 to 2018. Honestly, you know, people are like, yo, you so brave, you quit your job. Yeah, I quit because my dad was dying at the time, and I was like, damn, I'm working 60 hours. I'm working on music, and my father was terminally ill. I'm like, I'm not about to miss the last, I think, you know, my dad had like 6 months to 18 months to live. I'm like, I'm quitting my job. I'm not about to be slaving 60 hours a week. And, you know, I knew my dad was dying, so I'm like, damn, like, I gotta spend time with him. I wanted to spend every second I could with him. And I tell my friends that because they're like, oh, like, man, you really went for it. I'm like,
Situation was
you
a bit
know,
different,
like,
yeah.
situation was different. I mean, I still would have quit my job, but that definitely expedited the process because it's like I had no choice but to quit, you know? And honestly, like, work was hard because I was in and out the hospital with my pops trying to, you know, do the music, you know, missing time in the office. And it was a lot of last second shit too, like, you know, so it was hard to like tell my boss like, yo, my dad just got hospitalized. And it was a lot of in and out of, when you lose somebody that close to you, it just puts everything into perspective. Like, we're not here for a long time. There's never the perfect time to do anything. Yeah, I just quit my job and I was like, nah, I'm doing this music stuff. Like, I'll never find the right time to have enough money or,
Yeah.
you know, time is our biggest commodity. So
That's true with everything. That's true with everything
Yeah,
in business,
definitely.
for
Hell
anything
yeah,
that
hell
anybody's
yeah.
starting. There's never really a good time to start anything.
yeah, never. You know, I'd rather learn along the way. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. So risk isn't a real thing. Like, what am I
What is there to
risking?
lose? Yeah.
That's how I
literally
felt.
have-
Whenever I started in business, I was 20. I was like, I can live off like $20 a week. I don't need nothing.
Yeah.
I can wear the same pair of jeans. I can wear the same t-shirt. And I didn't really need much. I didn't have to support anybody.
Yeah.
So really, that's the time to take the biggest risk in
Absolutely.
your 20s, and you don't have anything to lose.
Yeah. And
Which-
same thing. He lost his dad at a young age
Yeah.
too. So at
So I was
18,
probably 18, and
fucking up, being a bad kid.
after that happened, I blame the world, and you're angry for whatever reason. I don't know why, but a couple years of just partying and doing stupid stuff.
Realizing how short life is, and
Yeah.
you found out you're sick, and then a week later you're gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
So then all that happens with your dad. Was that just motivation to like, okay, instead of going to like get another job again, a 9-to-5 job, now I'm gonna really push with the music stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It was like, it's sad, but I was trying to be famous before my pops died. So it was like, it was fucked up. Like, it was like a racing clock and just cancer. My dad passed from cancer, and like, seeing your hero you look up to just wither away, it was traumatizing. And it was just like, but fortunately he was very supportive. He appreciated the fact that I was fearless with it. And, being a rapper is stigmatized. Like, come on, you like, everybody raps nowadays, and it's like, it's even
But
when
not everybody's good. He
Yeah.
recognized that you were good, and he knew.
yeah, but sometimes even with the right marketing, in my opinion, the most trash rappers be popping.
I know. I tell him that all the time. I can't listen to new
I can't
rap.
figure that out. Some of the YouTube stuff, I listen, I'm like, how is this number 6? Like, I can't, I don't
Yeah.
even understand. It sounds so offbeat. Like some of the
Yeah.
new stuff, like it
Yes.
doesn't really,
Nothing rhymes.
like I don't
flows.
understand the beat. I don't understand the,
Hey, there's 8 billion people in the world. You can find
That's what
an
I'm saying.
audience, you know what I'm saying? So I can never tell a rapper I can never tell somebody you're trash because you might blow up the next year. And,
especially with social
who
media.
am I to shoot somebody's dream down? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, thankfully he was very supportive. Like, he was one of my biggest fans. So it wasn't like my son's a fuck up. It was he knew how serious I was. Like, I was staying up till 6 a.m. writing lyrics. I was really putting that work in. It's not like I was like a rapper just chilling in the club trying to use my, you know, my rapping ability to, you know, date women. Like I was really on some, still am,
As a business
mission
for
to
you,
be
yeah.
the best artist in the world.
It shows you started taking marketing courses. You're like, I'm gonna figure out this social media thing.
That was good.
Yeah.
The business degree helped you, you know, in that too, on how to grow
Not
this.
really, honestly. Business. I loved college. I want my kids to go to college, but looking back, I really didn't learn a lot in college, honestly. Like I learned more in high school. I was in this program called Prep for Prep that also like really just made me like a dog, like just beast. Like when I was in 5th grade, I was taking Latin. I was going to school summertime 9 to 5, and I cried every day because I'm in 5th grade, summertime. I'm crying in front of my mom, like, Ma,
Don't make me go.
I don't want to go to this. And you know, my dad being on a baseball mission, he's like, let him quit. He could focus more on baseball. My mom was like, absolutely not. So because, you know, it got me into this like super rich independent school by the name of Fieldston, which was like $50,000 a year. But that program gave me a free ride.
Mm-hmm.
And even high school, I had to go hour and a half one way just to high school, you know. And that's why I would rap. Like that's why I would be on the bus writing rhymes. But like since 5th grade, I was just school and baseball. So it just breeded me to like just be a hard worker and get it by any means. Yeah, discipline.
So how did you start monetizing it? How did you start making money? Sean said that you started making money on views. Was it on Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook.
So I didn't know Facebook paid for
Yeah,
for
Facebook
views, really.
pays OD. Facebook. When TikTok became TikTok, they had the Creators Fund program. They put like, Mark Zuckerberg put like billions of dollars away for creators. So I was getting paid per reel. Like it was great times. I was getting paid.
You mean on Instagram?
On Facebook. On Facebook Reels. Like I was getting
When did this
paid
start?
Crazy. 2022.
Okay, so I was a part of that test group.
Yeah.
So somehow I did Sheryl Sandberg's makeup. She was
Yeah.
the COO
Dope.
of Facebook at the time. Her family lives in Houston, blah, 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 do her makeup. And I told her, I was like, not just blowing smoke up your ass, but I
Yeah.
am where I'm at today
Yeah.
because of Facebook business pages. Because I
Yeah.
was capped out at the other one, blah, blah, blah. So they used me as like a story.
Mhm.
And I was like on the advertisements for what you're talking about
Yeah.
right now. So people would tie up for their businesses and get paid on their reel. So they put me into these little thing when it first started
Yeah.
where you got paid like, I don't know, 20 cents a reel or whatever. And they cap you
Yeah.
out at a certain amount. So it wasn't a ton of money, at least for me,
Yeah.
during the testing time. But I didn't know they actually launched that because I don't get offered that anymore. So I don't know how you signed up for that. Do you still do it?
Nah, that ended. It
was only for a short time.
Like for a year.
Yeah, I felt like it went on for like 6 months or a year. And it would go for a month and they'd stop.
Yeah,
And they would
go
give you like
every
a deadline
month.
for 30 days. You get 30
Yeah.
days to create as much content as you want.
Yeah.
And they said they were just trying to keep people on Instagram and not
Yeah,
shooting
not
everybody
TikTok.
over to TikTok.
Yeah, but it was like specifically Facebook I was getting paid, not Instagram, Facebook Reels. And it also helped push my music, you know. So it was like super win-win. I was getting paid to market my music.
Are you signed with a label now?
Yeah, I'm actually with Empire. It's an independent situation. They're based in San Francisco. Empire, Ghazi. I don't know if you're familiar with the name Ghazi. He's like a big music exec, but Empire is an independent label, and I'm in partnership with them.
Oh, how did you meet them? They found you on...
Yeah. In early 2023, you know, it's like sports. Like colleges flying you out, trying to see what, you know, convince you to sign. Capitol Music Group approached me. A lot of independent labels. It's funny, when Empire first approached me, I didn't want to go with them because they were more of the independent situation. I really wanted to get that machine.
I don't know what that means. You got to explain what that means.
Big labels, which are like Atlantic, Capitol Music Group, those are like the major labels. And with major labels, they're usually more involved. They have more control, but because they have more control, they want to spend more money. Independent is you have more control, so therefore you get more equity and
But
more
you're marketing
freedom.
more yourself.
Exactly. So, you know, even with AI, like the Capitol deal, they take your likeness. So if somebody uses my voice, I won't own my own voice. That's crazy to me.
I know we have a friend that's trying to like, I don't know, protest that
Yeah.
in the world of acting because they can take your
Yeah,
face,
exactly.
license your face, and then use it in
Yeah.
a movie, and the whole thing is AI, and it's not even you, and you don't
Yeah,
get paid.
which is
You just paid
crazy.
your licensing fee.
Exactly. So like,
Does that make you nervous that could be the future of, you know, music in 5 years?
well, yeah, it's way more competition. I don't know. I feel like it definitely makes it more competitive, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like music is a spiritual soul experience. I mean, we gonna see, I guess, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to connect with a person. Like it's a
Yeah.
lot of other stuff besides just some AI character making music.
I mean, songwriters can now just, if you're a really good songwriter, you can just use somebody's voice, you know, because the humans are still writing the lyrics for the AI stuff. They're just putting like a Kanye voice over it. So there is still the element of like spirituality and stuff. But yeah, with the label situation. But you know, it's a two-way street because sometimes like, screw it, like you take all my music profits, but I'll go make money in tequila or endorsements. And, you know, I look up to Jay-Z in terms of business. Like Jay-Z's a billionaire. Music is probably only 5% of his net worth. So it's like, you know,
Or
there's
Dr.
pros
Dre.
and cons to everything, but also with major labels, they sign so many artists that you could easily get lost in the system, and then you can't drop music when you want to. So we live in an era where you got to drop music consistently. But if the label's like, nah, we want to put you on the bench, you can't drop this song for a year.
If you want to sell merchandise, if you want to sell this, you
definitely,
own
yeah,
everything.
absolutely, definitely.
So how does that work with them having control over when you produce something? If you produce something you know it's going to be a hit and they want to wait a year.
So that's the majors. With Empire Independent,
You don't.
I don't have to do that.
Do you
Yeah.
ever feel like you get being a creator, I have to ask this question. Do you go through slumps where you just
Hell
can't come up with
yeah.
anything new?
Absolutely.
And you're
Right
like,
as
it's
black.
over. Yeah, it's in your head. It's like, we're done. I'm done.
They
my
said-
last one. No, it didn't get enough views.
I'm like, damn.
So
even money come, I'm like, I gotta be. It's like
How am I
every.
gonna top it
Yeah,
now?
it's like first it was Feel Sue, then it was Kindness for Weakness, and then Money Come. But I feel like it was the perfect storm of like me being big on Facebook, TikTok blowing up, Facebook like, yo, we need to push our top creators. So I feel like it's all highs and lows. I be feeling like I'm Bitcoin, like honestly. So, you know, like just high and low, but the average slope is to the moon.
So that's exactly how business works, anyways.
Yeah,
Not in
man.
the
I start
music
feeling like
space.
that
It's
too.
like,
Right
Yeah.
now with like everything going on in the world,
You
with the
feel-
elections and the whatever going crazy this year, and no one really knowing. I didn't realize all of retail was down, and this is
Yeah.
my first year that I've been running down numbers like ever. And so me and my COO and my team are like beating ourselves up, and then I start getting like uninspired to do all of the social media stuff and making the reels. I'm just like, it's not working anymore. But it's not just me. And I was talking to my manufacturer, and then we keep getting emails back to back to back. People are like, we just laid off all of our salespeople. You'll be working directly with the executive. But after like the fourth company, I picked up the phone, like, what the fuck's going on? They're like,
Yeah.
be grateful that you're only down $300,000
Right.
last year because
Right.
it's millions and millions for our other clients. So you're not doing too bad. Keep doing what you're doing. But where do you look for inspiration when you start feeling like that? Like, oh, it's over. My big hit's gone. Where do you start, meeting up with other artists, trying to come up with new raps, or lock yourself in the room and force yourself with a pen like Eminem?
Yeah, just reading in self-help books. Like I've Googled plenty of times, like, what does it feel like to quit as an artist? But I know that if you're going hard, if you're not thinking about giving up, you're not going hard enough. Like that's something I live by. Like, so it's like, okay, like at least I'm going hard because I'm really laying it all out there. So, and it's just a common feeling of any business person. And
I think that's anybody.
yeah, you
You
know what I'm
always
saying?
like,
You always question it.
every week there's something bad that happens, and then something good will happen. You'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Makes you feel a little bit better for getting kicked in the face like 2 times that week.
definitely.
I always tell him my problems. I don't do it as much anymore because we're so busy. We don't have time to talk. But when I was newer in business, and he's just like, that's not a real problem. He's like, what's gonna make? He's like, it's a fixable problem. He's like, come to me with a problem like this.
Yeah.
That's not fixable.
Right.
Like you run over somebody in your car and you kill them. Like that's not
Right.
fixable, right?
Right.
You come to something, one of your manufacturers closed down. Get your formulas, go to somebody else and figure it the fuck out. But what makes you successful is when you get to those roadblocks, as you find a way around it. You don't just stop and give up because you had one bad, song come out that didn't get as many views or
Right.
likes or didn't make as much money as you thought it was going to.
Yeah.
It's persistence. You've been doing it
Yeah.
for 14 years now, you know,
Yeah.
so that's 14 years before you started blowing up technically.
Nah, definitely. I will say though, I feel like I really didn't really go hard until like 2017 because during college I was turning up, studying. I really was like still, like 2018 when I quit my full-time job, I was shining shoes. I was doing all the random little jobs, like whatever I could to make a little bit of money, but still have the time to make my music, So, yeah. And also I feel like reading, like I read this, I met this guy through one of my friends and he gave me this book called The Master Key System, which is about like law of attraction and manifestation, which I thought was all bullshit, honestly. I thought it was for like lazy people who didn't want to put the work in.
No, I agree with it.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Like it completely.
What's also kind of getting you to something of negativity.
It's mindset. It's,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
mindset. It's not really you wish something, it's just going to magically appear. But if you're persistent and you keep thinking about it and you keep just pushing through all the bad stuff and all the downtime, it eventually works out if you
Yeah.
do it that much. And just, it's the mindset to keep pushing like that.
So what does an average day look like for you? What time do you wake up? Do you work out? Tell us what your day looks like. We want to know what the success formula is on this.
It depends, really. Like, I feel like even time isn't, like, this kind of sounds like I'm a hippie or whatever, but I feel like time is an illusion. Like, I used to think of stuff like day by day basis, but I just try and get everything done.
You don't like a schedule.
Yeah.
You don't like someone telling you where you have to be. No, but that's a true artist, like right there. It's like you don't want to have a schedule. And that's what I would imagine would be really hard as an artist, knowing that you have to plan your life like a year with concerts in advance. And you can't budge. No matter how sick you are, no matter how much diarrhea you have, you got COVID, sorry, bitch, get on stage. Or what kind of mood you're in or where you're at mentally. You just got to pull your shit together and get up there. That's hard.
So how is it with the touring and the concerts? Was it record labels promoting, or how does it work? And you have a promoter that books your shows?
Yeah, so being independent, I still have to, you know, pretty much works on it. For now, it's like an inquiry base. Like, people just reach out to me for appearances. I'm still at the stage where I still want to continue building digitally because I feel like it's easier to reach a mass than spend all the time to set my own tour. But, you know, like, London, a lot of fans were reaching out. So I was like, okay, let me reach out to a venue. And they were like, yeah, pull up. You know, we break the business down. So I feel like I'm still very focused on building the discography. And then once because this album coming up is going to be the first one I drop with, you know, with Empire, with the partnership. So once this album is out, then I'll really start focusing on, you know, hitting the road and, you know, getting a booking agent and promoting it, you know?
Because I think that's so important. It's kind of like same thing. I'm comparing it to what I do too. You got to be in the front of the face of people too, because you never know who you're going to meet in person.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, this guy's fucking badass. You know what I mean? I know so-and-so, I'm going to hook you up with so-and-so that's going to take it, you know, next level.
Definitely.
But you're right about spending a lot of time on the digital side.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like
you can just...
And you know what it is too? I can't set up a schedule because I might hit the studio. Like, I can't be like, oh, 9 to 12, I'm just going to... Because it might be 11:55 and I just started talking my shit, you know?
Like, if you're just having a really good day, you're there until 6 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. So it's literally, I'm an athlete first. Like, I'm used to training for these amount of hours. But music, you can't do that shit. Like, I don't like not having structure. It's just how it has to go. Because I can't decide when I'm going to make a hit. Like, you know,
when you're in the flow,
yeah, when I'm in the flow, exactly. Like, I can be there for 3 hours, not make nothing, and then I could just be driving like, oh shit, I gotta go home, and I just get this feeling. I can't plan that.
So where do you record? At your house?
At my house, yeah, because every artist should have it. It's like, how are you not gonna be able to create at any time possible? Like, it just
shaves off all the unnecessary time, especially in New York. Commute, going back and forth, and what you'd have to pay for it, having it at home is badass.
Yeah, like,
so your
artists,
producer comes to your house and then y'all just
no, I just record. I just get the beat from YouTube, take it down, and you know,
actually,
and if it's
really easy.
Yeah, it's super easy.
It's really easy.
Super
I know someone
easy.
that did it, and it was like, this is much easier than I thought. Even when I did like an audio of my book,
yeah,
I was like, this is way more simple than I thought. You see everything on TV, and they've got this huge, I don't know what it's called, the board, the motherboard.
Yeah,
but you don't need something
that's prehistoric, honestly. Like, that's all for show. That's all the, like, the aesthetic and the vibe. Like, the kids nowadays, they're recording on iPod headphones. Like, they're platinum records out where these kids are chilling where she's at, making a record.
What's that young kid with the little scar in his eyebrow? What's his name? He's really big on Instagram.
I don't know.
Damn, I don't even know. But he probably
Charlie
used...
Puth. Charlie Puth.
Okay. Yeah.
He does that. He's got his keyboards up here.
Yeah.
He'll take like this sound.
Yeah.
He'll take that and he'll
Loop
like
it.
put it through all of his machines, and then he'll add beats to it, and he's like, there we go. That was, you know, water pouring out of a glass, and then he makes a hit off of it. It's so fucking awesome how he can make everything himself with like 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's important to like be able to do that. Like, imagine like him like, oh, let me call the studio, see if I call an Uber, see if the engineer's available. By the time you get there, you lose your idea. Yeah. You know, you lose that spark. So
you don't record yourself on your iPhone when you're driving?
I do. Yeah, because I need yeah, exactly. I'll do voice memos. So when I get back home, I'm like listening to it like, okay. Like, Cap Season, Money Come, I wrote partially in the car. So yeah.
You talked about that song a lot. Is that your favorite?
Money Come just opened a lot of doors, honestly. And it was funny because like it was a drill. It's called drill, the genre. And I never wanted to do that music because drilling is like, you know, it's like street shit. And I'm not, you know, I have family in the streets and I know people in the streets, but
you're not running around with a
I'm not.
block.
Yeah, exactly. And and like a lot of people lie in music. Like, somebody said something funny, but it's true. Like, motherfuckers be lying. Motherfuckers be paying to lie in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Which I get it. Like, everybody want to be gangster. Like, I get it. But like, that's just not me because To me, music is more like expression. I want to be my true self. Like, I would feel like I'm cheating but it's entertainment at the end of the day, so I can't judge anybody for making a street persona or character.
What do you think is your best song? I know that one hit the hardest, but
Yeah.
what song you're most proud of?
I got this song called Vultures on my upcoming album that I really love.
When does the album come out?
We're thinking September.
Oh, so
Yeah,
close.
early
It's close.
September. Yeah.
Almost done.
Almost done.
And how many
Yeah.
songs on that album?
Probably 14. Yeah, I think I like the songs that captivate what I want to say. Like sometimes I won't be able to say it verbally in person, but I can capture it in the song. Those are usually like my favorite songs. I mean, Money Come too, because it's like that song. Like I don't even have to perform. It's just like a sing along, which is dope. Like that's my favorite feeling as an artist. Like I could just play a song and I could just sing along, like, which is dope. That's the best feeling in music, when people are singing your lyrics better than you are. Like,
So where can people find you? What is your Instagram handle?
just MRG everywhere.
How did you get that?
Crazy
Did you have to
story.
buy that from somebody?
Yeah, I bought it from somebody.
I was like, that one's just too good.
It was like this guy in like Oman, the Middle East, and my boy spoke Arabic, and I was like, yo, I want your handle. And my boy's like, yo, let me try it. So he hit him, and then he hit him in Arabic, and he started responding. And this was when I was buying Bitcoin. So he was like, because of the USD transaction, he was like, I was like, yo, I'll give you Bitcoin for it. So I ended up giving him $800 worth of Bitcoin. I'm like,
That was it?
Definitely worth it, right? That's
Did
how I
the
was like, that was it.
Did the Bitcoin drop after that?
Nah, that shit went
Okay,
skyrocketed.
so he made a lot of money then. Well, we
made
tried
a
to
lot of
buy
money.
a website for this podcast because
Yeah.
somebody had it, and the guy was just either they didn't respond or they wanted like $5,000 for it. And
I don't remember.
I think they just weren't responding or whatever. I know it's hard if you want to get somebody else's name. That's a
It
good
is.
achievement.
And I had to use we use like this crazy like Bitcoin exchange mixed with, because Instagram, there are people out there who like are constantly trying to hack 3-letter Instagram names because they don't exist anymore. You can't get any, because the maximum. So I would get like 1,000 login attempts every day in my email, like your password failed, because
So
they're
Instagram
machines.
won't even allow you to do 3-letter anymore. They're probably all taken.
Yeah,
at this
they're all
point.
taken. They're all taken. So like I had to, obviously get the double factor because people are constantly trying to break in and sell my shit. So
That's very stressful. One of our friends, we think he just got hacked. They had almost 2 million followers.
damn.
And to have that much like writing on your social media, you
Yeah.
could lose it.
Yeah, he makes a lot off of it too.
Even I can't even get in my own Instagram. If I get out, I'm stuck.
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy.
And then what is your name on Facebook?
MRG? Yeah.
And it's
MRG.
the same thing. So it's all across the
Yeah,
board. Even on
yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah,
I like the consistency
on
here.
TikTok, MRGNY. Oh yeah, TikTok MRGNY official. But everything else is pretty much MRG, and I should be the first.
Even on YouTube.
Search.
It's MRG official, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, MRG official. Yeah, it is. It is.
And do you have a website?
I just started launching it for the merch, so it's still a little bit in beta, but I believe it's allthingsmrg.com.
Well, we're glad we got you on here early before
Yes.
you hit it big. You're gonna be
Yes.
the next Drake, the
Dope,
next Dr.
dope.
Dre. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, I
The next
get
Bad Bunny.
Drake a lot too.
I like Drake a lot. Drake is one of my favorite rappers.
I like the old Drake
And
stuff.
I do like
I
Kanye.
don't-
And all my Jewish
I don't really
customers are going to
listen
be
to-
really mad when they hear me say that.
His music.
I do like his music. I've always
Yeah.
liked his songs. But we're glad we got you on here early. Glad you put your phone number on social media. That was a good call. That was very Mike Jones of you, and we love it.
Mike Jones.
People can be able to reach out to you if they want you to for a show. An album comes out. It's going to go
Def-
big time. It's going to be hard to get a hold of you.
Definitely. Might have to change it now. I'm gonna keep it the same like Mike Jones.
So do you have any more questions before we close it out today?
No. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming. Again, I'm a fan, and so it's been
I know
fun to watch you since.
Sean's fangirling right now. He's
Yeah,
going to ask for your autograph.
I've been watching you since the beginning, and then
Nah,
now
that's
to
dope.
see you blow up, it's pretty cool.
Nah,
And he's
thank you,
usually
man.
right. That's one thing that's why he's so successful in business is when he thinks something,
Your
it
gut,
normally
your gut
turns.
never lies.
Yes.
Gut
And
never
he was right
lies.
about Jelly Roll.
Yeah, hey, Jelly Roll.
So that means
You,
he's
see, you see it here first. I want to do a record with you. We're going to do a record.
All right.
And we'll get him on here one day, and then we'll give him
Yes.
your phone number from Instagram. We'll hook you up.
I love it.
All right.
Perfect.
Well, thanks again. I know it was a really long trip for you guys to come out here, so we really, really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see what happens in a year or two. So when your album goes big time platinum, I don't know what's the best.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot
Platinum,
about music platinum. So when it goes platinum, you better come back so we can talk about that.
Absolutely.
Or we'll go see you in London. We'll do it there.
Yeah,
All
true.
right.
Yeah. You got to make it out to London.
I'll make
No excuses.
So thanks again. It was so nice meeting you.
Thank you for having me.